good morning, everyone. Welcome to Inspiration for Today. It's Tuesday, and as you can see, we have a special guest star. I'm promoting you to star.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that good?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know.
Okay.
It actually is the same pay as regular guest.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm fine with that. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I get chocolate chip cookies, right?
So our guest today is obviously Jeff Feld, and Jeff is our lead pastor at Saddleback, Laguna Woods. And we're going to continue what we started yesterday, which was talking about what your church has to offer. We are not closed. We are doing Sunday worship on TV6 at 5 o'clock. But other than that, there are many, many opportunities. And so I wanted this week to remind everyone of what those opportunities are. And one of them that Jeff is involved with and leads often and is always there is what we have been calling Together Tuesdays. But Jeff, could you just give us an update on where we stand on that and what we're doing? And we are making some changes this year that I think
wonderful. And kind of thanks, Rick. And kind of the idea was to maybe have expressed kind of the heart of Together Tuesdays. Is one of the things that we really miss during the pandemic is just being able to be together and just encourage each other. A lot of times, Sunday mornings we'd have that time before the worship service or in between services or after, just to gather and talk and see how you're doing and encourage each other. And so our Together Tuesdays is what we were calling it. We're looking to change that up. Was just a chance for us to get together and just be together and just laugh and encourage and love one another. And then also we have some other wonderful things going on. We usually have music and a devotion.
Well, let's come back to that in just a second. I'm going to give the verse for the day. Is that?
Oh yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. So in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25, this is why we do it. It says, "Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." And Jeff, I love this particular time that you're describing so much because we're able to fulfill this scripture, even though in this pandemic time, we're not allowed to meet in person. But we still can fulfill scripture. What's your response?
That's beautiful. I mean, they bring up a great point. And one of the things that we've talked about in the past, not necessarily on this show yet, but we talked about how we have never stopped meeting. We physically can't gather on Sunday mornings, but we are leveraging wonderful technology like the Zoom and FaceTime and a number of things. And we are meeting in this way. And although it's not the same as being able to hug each other and be there, it is a wonderful blessing. And like you said, it does fulfill that scripture of continued meeting.
Jeff, I'm the first one to say, I'm tired of Zoom. And it's not my favorite. It bothers me in some ways, but it doesn't, it's the best we have. So I won't miss a Tuesday gathering. By the way, we've changed the time amongst the other things, right? So
we've been traditionally been at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays, and we've got a lot of feedback that was kind of right in the middle of dinner time and things like that. And so to try to just make a slight change, we're going to move it to 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, and hopefully that would allow more people to come that normally missed it because of dinner time and that type.
Well, it's worth a try.
Yeah, and exactly.
I applaud you for making that change. And if this doesn't work, we'll find another time because it's
exactly. You're right. Nothing's in concrete, and we're just going to give this a try to just make this adjustment, and then find out if we can go ahead and allow more people to participate because they're missing out. They really are. That we really miss them, and they're missing out.
Well, I know that a week ago we had communion, and we're going to do communion fairly often. We're going to do other things.
Yes. Yeah, and then we talked about having, we miss our monthly night of worships, and we're talking about, reinstating a night of worship, over Zoom, and a number of things that we can do. And also, too, it's just a great way to communicate what's going on. I mean, as things open up again, and we're allowed to.
Oh, we'll need to do that.
Yeah, as things open up and we're allowed to, even during the pandemic, if once we get out of the shutdown mode that we're in and we can meet in parking lots and stuff, we can communicate that and do more things where we're meeting outside together. Obviously, we can't do that now, but in the future, we'll be able to.
We will. And in the meantime, we will I think you were telling me we're going to really make it known. We might even call, I don't know, when our meeting on Tuesday, like, we're going to make it very clear what we're doing that week.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Rather than just having it being more of a generic weekly thing, we'll start announcing and try to give the weeks ahead in advance so people can plan. If we have like tonight's a comedy night or tonight's a bingo night or tonight's a night of, singing or whatever it might be, or it's a game night or that type of thing.
Pastor Rick makes such of course he makes a big deal out of the 5 purposes. That's what the Bible does. But that's what I was going to say. He makes such a big deal about it. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
What do you know? But this is one of the 5 purposes, and that's called fellowship.
Yeah.
I mean, we continue to do the others, the serving, the mission, and teach discipleship. This is the fulfillment of one of those 5 purposes that God has called us to do.
Oh my goodness. And it is so needed. And it is such a blessing to all of us that participate. And again, the heart in kind of making some of these changes is really just to encourage more people to participate. I know, because one of the things we talked about this before is that we don't always feel like connecting with people every day. We don't. Sometimes we're having a tough day or we're tired. But I know that, at least personally, I can speak, and other people have shared that those days when, even though I didn't feel like it, I connected, like, oh my goodness, what a blessing it was. And what a wonderful day, especially like on Together Tuesday, whatever else, just being there was like, oh my goodness, God knew I needed to be there. And so showing up when I didn't feel like it was like, I'm so glad I did.
Yeah, you have just described me right there sometimes, because I sometimes don't want to go. And I talk myself into it. And then I'm so glad I did. I mean, it's like I go from one extreme flipping over to the other.
Well, I'm glad we're sharing this, sharing this on the show, is because it's one of those things that, well, gosh, people think, oh, we're always, excited and want to be there. It's like, well, that isn't always true. I mean, we have days where we're exhausted also. So, but like you said, so glad that we showed up. So.
And we're going to do things. I'm working on, Jeff, some times of worship that will relate more to what we used to call our evening of worship. And that's really important to me. And so you folks, we'll let you know when they're upcoming. But I know
our newsletter too. Yeah, we got to let people know that they got to make sure they're signed up for receiving our newsletter. Yeah.
So Jeff, in our last minute or so, how do you attend?
Well, basically,
because we'll be meeting today at 3:00.
Yes.
How do they attend that?
What we do is every week we send out kind of a reminder of the newsletter, what's going on this week in the church. And usually up front is our Tuesday gathering. And it's on Zoom right now. And it's basically a little link that you can just click on, and either on your phone or your iPad or your computer, you can go ahead and participate over the internet. And so if you need help with that or whatever else, we can do that too, basically with these emails and phone numbers that you see on here. But it's something that you can just sit right in front of your laptop or even your phone if you don't have a laptop, and do that, your smartphone.
And what Jeff said, that will help you if you need it. But if you're on a computer, either laptop or desk, if you just click on that link, the computer will set it up for you.
Yes, it'll guide you through it.
But we'll help you with your phone if you need that. Anyway, folks, our time is up for today. Jeff, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me, Rick. This is wonderful. Yeah.
And I appreciate all you do, and so do all our people. So
well, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for we just love our congregation and miss them in person so much. Yeah.
Bye, everyone, for now. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow.
Beautiful day. It's wonderful. This is the day that the Lord